I got two things again.
Oh. Alright. Let's show us what's in the box. Top secret.
First one is for Grizz.
Oh.
What?
Hang on. What do we got? Keep
going, though, man. You're doing good.
Yes!
Dude, you punched the fuck out of
dude.
that, man.
Holy fucking shit!
So good. Yo, Captain Pear.
I didn't know what was going on there.
Man. Fucking got him.
Fucking got him, dude.
Holy shit. Dude, good game. Fucking good game.
Are you ready?
I knew it!
Cap, look at my fish.
Oh, wow.
It's my little bite. Ready? Bitch.
Always steal those kisses from you. Always have to steal those kisses from you. Always have to steal those kisses from you. Always have to steal my kisses from you.
I got two things again.
Oh. Alright. Let's show us what's in the box. Top secret.
First one is for Grizz.
Oh.
What?
Hang on. What do we got?
Keep going, though, man. You're doing good.
Yes!
Dude, you punched the fuck out of that, man.
Holy fucking shit!
So good. Yo, Captain Pear.
I didn't know what was going on there.
Man. Fucking got him.
Fucking got him, dude.
Holy shit. Dude, good game. Fucking good game.
Are you ready?
I knew it!
Cap, look at my fish.
Oh, wow.
It's my little bite. Ready? Bitch.
Always have to steal those kisses from you. Always have to steal those kisses from you. Always have to steal those kisses from you. Always have to steal my kisses from you.
I got two things again.
Oh. Alright. Let's show us what's in the box. Top secret.
First one is for Grizz.
Oh.
What?
Hang on. What do we got?
Keep going, though, man. You're doing good.
Yes!
Dude, you punched the fuck out of that, man.
Holy fucking shit!
So good. Yo, Captain Pear.
I didn't know what was going on there.
Man. Fucking got him.
Fucking got him, dude.
Holy shit. Dude, good game. Fucking good game.
Are you ready?
I knew it!
Cap, look at my fish.
Oh, wow.
It's my little bite. Ready? Bitch.
Always have to steal those kisses from you. Always have to steal
Are you ready to
And we're in.
rumble?
Oh, my frick.
Hello.
Hi. Oh, fuck. I haven't posted the thing.
Yeah, let's do it now. Post the thing and the stuff.
Posting things and stuff. Publishing. Cross all the things.
Are there any Twitch chatters in the Twitch chat?
Can I get a Twitch chat, please?
Can I get a Twitch chat, please, sir?
Can I get a hey?
Hey, Dan.
Is that Mr. Daniel Fantastic? G'day, mate.
It is.
G'day,
The
fella.
man himself.
Um,
So fantastic.
How you going, mate?
did you see this?
Kicking
Chris?
goals? See what? Who? Where?
I'm gonna post this in here.
Twitch chat?
Yep.
Twitter, Captain Perth TV.
Oh, is it
Ooh,
the
Caps
photo?
Twitter. Holy.
Oh my god!
What? That
What
is
the heck?
you.
That's literally you.
What the fuck,
That's
man?
insane.
I know. I couldn't fucking
Dude,
believe
they have
it.
responded to your tweet too,
I know.
which is fucking cool.
Oh, that's so cool.
Identical.
Oh my god, Cap.
That's so funny, isn't it?
Dude, they better be paying you royalties for that shit.
I fucking
Surely.
reckon.
G'day, Kajing.
Fucking funny, isn't it? G'day, K-Ching.
That's amazing.
Yeah, mate.
I want to retweet.
How's your
Gotta get the
Diablo
Hubble
4
telescope
hardcore
out for that,
character
mate.
going? Kajing? How's
Mate,
it going, mate?
I haven't been on for like a week or so.
I started playing again today.
Did you?
A little bit. I tell you what, man, I
from-
listened to a
from Build,
fantastic
man.
video that Asmund Gold was talking about. The issue with the fucking game is, dude, after level 60, the gear upgrades are so minimal that it's unrewarding to play, and it's a grind.
Yeah.
It's too grindy. Too fucking grindy for upgrades.
Yeah. Though. Yeah. 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 But yeah.
Whereas apparently Path of Exile has this, it's a continuous spike all the way into the end game, you know? You're always
Yeah, but
finding better
also
shit.
That game's been out for a lot longer.
Are we doing
That is very
podcast chat
true.
off podcast?
Yes.
True.
You want to get stuck in? We got a few,
again.
Get it.
we got a few
again.
folks in chat.
Yeah, let's do it, mate.
All right,
Just do it, mate.
let's
You
start.
Keith.
I'm gonna start that, and in 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, g'day and welcome. How's it frickin'
Hello.
going? Great to have you here. And another bloody podcast episode. Is this 61, Pav?
This is 60.
60?
No,
Big
it's
60.
61.
Is it
You
60?
sure?
61. Yeah, it's 61. Hundo %.
Okay.
I think you're
All
right.
right.
I think it is
Last-
61,
Need to update
actually.
that.
Last week was 60. Last week was 60. This week is 61.
Are you
for
sure?
sure.
Wait.
Yeah.
We
Yeah, I'm Hundo.
rarely listen to Grizz.
Well,
Dude, you know that I have every single episode, everything we talked about since
Oh,
episode
true.
1.
Yeah, very true. Yeah, it's
This
fun.
is
You're
this
right.
is
I'm going
episode
to to the
61.
podcast.
No, I just checked.
No, you're right.
100%.
Grizz is right.
You're
Grizz is
absolutely
correct.
Oh, yeah. The only thing you can trust me on is the
That's the one
fucking
thing.
numbers of the
In an
podcast.
absolute freaking, head turner. Grizz is correct. But yeah, welcome. How you doing? Great to have you here. Thank you for joining us for yet another podcast episode for the old Oceanic Gaming Radio podcast. Welcome Twitch chatters. If you're watching live, you can do so every Monday night, 7 p.m. AWST from twitch.tv/Oceanic Gaming Radio. Fellas like Caging Run, Daniel Fantastic, legends, welcome on in. And we appreciate you being here. Now, alongside me, as always, firstly, my name's Captain Perth, but alongside me is Pavloverface and Grizzly Gaming 86. How are we, fellas?
Hoi, hoi, boys.
How we doing?
You doing good?
Very good.
Yeah.
I'm alive.
Yeah. You're alive, okay?
Yeah, look,
So-
I reckon I'm about the same as you, Pav.
Yeah.
I'm actually fucking so tired,
Yeah,
dude.
you had a big one too.
Oh, I don't know. I wouldn't even say I had a big one, mate. I just have not been managing my sleep schedule very well. In fact,
what are
very
you doing,
poorly.
Grizz? Why are you doing that to yourself?
Well, I had a very late night with a gig. Usually Pav goes first, but you know what, Pav, I'm snaking you this
Yeah,
week,
take it.
mate.
Yeah, get snaked, son.
I had a gig, and then I stayed up real late, and then I think that like kind of threw my Sunday night out because then I accidentally stayed up till like 12 o'clock last night playing Dota with friends, and then I had to work today. But I do have news, Cap. I think I may have told you guys last week that I thought I'd done a hernia. Good news is, Cap, I haven't done a hernia.
Yeah, what have you done?
I think I've just pulled a muscle in the old groin region. So
yeah, that'll happen.
I do
That'll
pull that
happen.
muscle a couple of times per week, but this is a different muscle down there.
Too vigorous, mate.
They're too vigorous.
Yeah, okay. Well, I'm glad to hear that it's not a hernia because hernias kind of fucking suck, to be honest, mate.
They do.
Not that I've had one,
not
but I've
good.
got mates who have had some. So, you know.
Yeah, some of them I think you need like surgery and
Yeah. It's
stitch
you
back
literally
up.
get like I believe you get like a mesh put over it kind of thing, and that
Oh,
mesh
yeah.
kind of helps hold it because it's like a break in the skin, and then whatever's trying to kind of release itself essentially. So the mesh helps
Yeah.
you sort of keep it in there. So yeah, man,
Right.
that sounds brutal, but I'm glad
Not
it's only a
good.
pulled muscle, mate. Are you gymming
Well,
and stuff at the moment? Is that maybe where it
I've
happened?
actually had a week and a half off now. Since I had the pain, I was like, nah, I'm just not going to lift anything. So I'm
Smart, dude.
feeling god awful, but yeah, no, have not done any lifting. And right now, dude, I don't have any symptoms, which was kind of when I went in there today. I told them that, and she was like, oh, it's probably a pulled muscle that happens. There is that. It is actually the term for it is actually it's like a fitness hernia or something because the symptoms are the same. But
Is that right?
It's just one of the muscles that runs down one of the areas down there can, make you feel a little bit worse for wear.
Bloody hell. Okay. Well, I'm glad that it's not, bloody life threatening or anything. So that's good. That's really
That's
good.
good.
And what else has been happening, mate? What's been new on your horizons?
Well, I did what I said I was going to do last week, Cap, and I'm going to save this for the How's Your Gaming Going, but I did play Darkest Dungeon 2, and I'm pretty pumped up to talk to you about that one. You popped in and watched a bit of it, but
I did.
yeah, man, the art style is probably the takeaway for me. They've just taken what they did with Darkest Dungeon 1 and added a even extra little bit of paint here and there, and it just looks fantastic. Really nice.
Yeah. Mate, that's fucking wicked. Big fan. It's I mean, obviously we'll talk a bit about it later, but yeah, the changes are just, especially in the graphics department, very, very impressive. And I think just the overall game and system, it's freaking good, mate. It's real good.
It is
Real
freaking
nice.
good. They changed the recipe a little bit, and at the start, I didn't like that. Oh, we should talk about it later. But anyway, it is a good
we'll
game.
talk about it later.
I'm looking forward to yarning with it about it with you for sure.
Frick yeah,
Pav.
mate. And yeah, Pavlich.
I saw
Hey.
some Facebook stories about you, Pav, again.
Yeah,
Did you have a big one, mate? What happened?
I did have a big one.
Yep.
It
Just
was Supernova weekend for
Oh yeah.
any non-Aussies listening here. Supernova is our national pop culture anime convention kind of thing. Just I wasn't doing anything at the con this time around, so it wasn't too hectic. I was just long days. But yeah, it was actually a really fun time. Having to after being at so many cons over the last couple of years, I've made so many new friends and see that you just see at the cons. And this time around, I wasn't having to do any hosting or anything. I just walked around and and chatted to
That's wicked,
everyone literally all day. It was a blast.
Do you know all the cosplayers and stuff, Pav?
I know quite a lot. Yeah, quite a lot of them.
I've got a question for you, man. I've got a question for you.
All right, shoot.
I saw a picture of you with what looked to be a person dressed as a push pop.
No.
Push pop. Was it a push pop?
He was a giant lightsaber.
Oh, it was a giant lights.
Oh my god.
He was like a 10-foot tall lightsaber.
Could he extend it and bring it back down, or how did that
It
fucking?
was inflatable. So it a little bit, but not quite in the way you'd hope. But it's still he was walking around. It was insane.
That's pretty cool. I
That's a
like
great
that.
idea for
I
a
like that.
costume. How do you even come up with that? I'm going to go as a lightsaber.
Yeah.
who has that thought?
He's a really popular meme cosplayer.
Ah.
He's His handle is Perth Magician if you want to check him out.
Magician.
There you
But
go.
he's done, have anyone watched Naruto?
Yes.
He's,
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
cosplayed as the entire Hokage Mountain before.
Oh my god.
I won't spoil it. Go check him out. Is some of the most creative cosplays I've ever seen.
That's incredible. Love
It's
that.
super cool.
Big fan of that. Brilliant. Nice one.
Highlights, Pav. Highlights of
Highlights.
the.
It was kind of just more honestly like more of the same stuff that I've been to every con this year, so it's a lot of the same stuff. But highlights just like catching up like with people I just see at the cons. It's really
Yeah.
cool seeing all the like incredible cosplay. Oh, and I do like my art commissions, so I'll be posting that on my socials.
Oh, you did some
yes.
more.
There's some game changes this time around. There people have
Really?
like people have like caught on to like the aesthetic that I have the craziest reactions to, and they went hard. Like the commissions are like for sketches, but they have gone hard.
How much do you pay
that's
per sketch?
awesome, dude.
It ranges. So like most of them do like $15 sketches.
Yeah.
But they range for like there's like some really established artists that do like up to like $70
Proper ones.
So, like,
Dude, you should
where
use
can-
these for your Twitch panels or something, Pav.
which is
Yeah.
exactly what I plan on doing.
Yeah.
Where can people go and find this, Pav? Because just to give people a rundown, basically you go to cons and then get these artists to draw a picture of you with a pineapple
Yeah.
or
So
you
what
know.
I do is I go around to just almost every artist that is doing a commission, and I say, look, got a weird request. Can you draw me with a pineapple any way you like? Artist choice. The
Yes.
crazier, the cooler. Whatever you like, go wild. I don't care. I'll pay for it. So then I walk away until they message me or however they
Yeah,
wanna
they go,
contact me.
it's done.
It's done. And then yeah, so you can see all the commissions I've ever done on Instagram. If you go to at Pavlovaface, in one of my highlight reels, you'll see you can flick through every single one that I've had done.
There's some very cool ones there.
Oh
too.
man, some of them are
Very cool
fucking
ones.
so dope.
talented.
Yeah.
Yeah, very very cool. It's such a great idea as well, dude. But I imagine that you've had to open another loan account to get that.
Yeah,
done.
look, it has costed me a small fortune. Yes,
Worth every cent, though, mate. Support those creators. mate.
exactly. That's
You
what
could
it's all
go
about.
in. We're going to talk about this later today, more AI stuff, but you could probably go to a AI and put your photo in and say with a pineapple and it will do it. But look at you, mate, going out there supporting
Oh.
those artists, Pav.
That's what it's
Love
all
it.
about.
Yeah, wicked. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. All right. So go and check it out. What was it? At Pav Leatherface on Instagram.
On Instagram, it's on my Instagram. Correct.
Yeah, go on freaking Instagram that shit. All right, cool. Love it. Well, thanks for asking. I didn't do an awful lot. I did fuck all. What did we do? No, literally did fuck all. I think we caught up with some mates on the Sunday, Arvo, which was lovely.
Are you on leave? Are you on leave at the moment, Cap?
I am. Yeah, I am indeed.
Hey.
So I've kind of just been cruising around. It's been great.
When do you go back? We should organise some kind of catch
I'm
up,
back
mate.
next week.
Real
back next
world.
week.
Next week. Fuck. Okay.
Yeah. So, but yeah, well, mate, don't you worry. We'll make something work. It's going to be okay. We'll make it. We'll sort it. We'll sort it. But yeah, so I'm back next week. Starting, and yeah, we did bugger all, which was actually really nice, to be honest. It kind of gave me a bit of time to do what Pav's doing in the frame right now, and we'll talk about that a little bit later on during the How's Your Gaming been going.
Holy.
But yeah, so just been doing a bit of gaming, hanging out with the big T. He is, he is so fucking all over the shop at the moment. He's just cruising around the house, crawling and
Mate,
finding him in all kinds of funny, hilarious situations. So yeah, it's all happening now, and he's just started to shimmy across when he stands up on things. So he'll like
Oh, mate,
grab
he's going
himself
to be.
up and shimmy along the couch and shit. So
He's going to be walking
he's-
very soon.
Yeah,
Very
he's
soon, I
like
dare
fucking
say.
T minus any day now. So we'll watch this space. I'll let you know all about it. So he's fucking cranking. He's like he's just under 9 months. I think he's like 8.5 months. So he's smashing on. He's fucking getting in there. So
And Cap,
Yeah.
you know how Norman Reedus was in what was that game where he
Death
walked?
Stranding.
Yeah. So you've done something similar, haven't you, for the recent SteamWorld game?
I?
Yeah, you just posted the Twitter. Literally,
Oh.
it is you. It is you.
Well, true.
That-
Yeah, and we'll talk about that in How's Your Gamer Going. But basically,
all right.
someone's stolen my likeness, and I'm very okay with it.
It's unbelievable, mate. Honestly, it is unbelievable.
It's actually fucked
like
up.
it's like if someone drew Pav at the cosplay convention, they were drawing you. It could be that person.
Yeah, if I said draw me as a robot, I think this is exactly what someone would come up with. But yes, anyways, that was my weekend. Not particularly appetizing, but it's going to definitely, make the How's Your Gaming Going, quite juicy. So
I saw you playing some
freaking
other unknown games too, Cap, mate. I saw you playing some ones that I hadn't seen as well.
I've played a bunch of shit actually, and it's been really good. So yeah, I'm looking forward to telling people all about it. So we'll get there. You'll get there. But in the meantime, just want to say, obviously house rules as always. If you want to come watch us live as we record this podcast, you can do so. As I mentioned earlier, twitch.tv/Oceanic Gaming Radio. Join some of the legends in the Twitch chat, talk about the things that we're talking about, or just poke fun at us. So you can do that. Otherwise, we're available on every major podcasting platform across the world. Okay, so all you got to do is go and type our thing in. You'll have to type in the full name, Oceanic Gaming Radio. OGR doesn't work, unfortunately. We need to get our SEO up a little bit, but we'll get there. Don't you worry. But yeah, so Google that little bad boy, search it in whatever app you use, and just drop a little 5-star review because everyone counts and everyone helps. So we appreciate it. To continue to extend the thanks beyond all of our community, another big thanks to our wonderful Patreons. And they are as follows: Sukai, Moosey, Caging Run, Sergeant Paul, Lee G, DJ, Libs, Brendan, and Dan Fantastic, and Strops. So thank you guys. You guys freaking rock. Appreciate you immensely.
Bunch of legends, Capo. Bunch of legends.
Yeah. So bloody rippers. So appreciate you. Thanks for continuing to support the podcast financially. Yeah, we appreciate you. All right. Now, Frick, I haven't got my freaking shit up, Grizz. Fuck. Hang on.
Oh, you haven't got the buttons, mate. Oh,
I've
no.
got the freaking buttons going. That's all right. I'll get those up in a second. But yeah, we've got a lot on the quest log today. It's kind of actually only two things, but one of those two things has a lot of sub things. So yeah. So let's freaking get stuck in there. I also think I need to raise the volume of these. I'll get there. Don't you worry. I've got a fucking baby. Okay, stop badgering me. All right,
you're doing
Mikey.
a good job, mate.
All right.
All over
All right.
it. Yeah, Mikey, fuck.
Anyways, two quests on the quest log, one of which has some sub-quests. The Nintendo directly injected Mario into our veins last week.
They did.
Big time. There's a lot of Mario, a lot of Pikmin, a lot of other stuff. So, a bit of a new Nintendo Direct with a lot of shit that was happening. So there you go. Now, what else we have? And then we've got we just want to talk to you guys about AI. Bit of AI chat. And what are we going to talk about? We're going to talk about the effect of AI on voice acting. So, pretty interesting shit right there. And then obviously later on we'll have all the other shit. So, but anyways, let's jump freaking straight in. Grizz.
Yes.
Nintendo Direct. We had that on, God, what day was that? That was on 5 days ago. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The 21st, I believe. Well, yeah, 21st for Australia. Now, Nintendo did their usual. They kind of just said, hey, guess what? You got a Direct coming tomorrow or the next day. And everyone went, fuck yeah, let's go. And they announced a bunch of shit, heaps of stuff.
Dude,
one thing that I'm particularly excited for.
I think this is the best Nintendo Direct we've had for a while. Well, maybe because I'm a Mario fanboy, but lots of really cool stuff in this one, Cap. And some things
I think it's definitely the biggest variety of stuff. You'd probably be, be worrying saying that in public, Grizz, with the amount of Legend of Zelda fans there are out there, and the fact that we had a few directs ago the kind of gameplay reveal of Tears of the Kingdom. So,
oh, mate, Tears of the Kingdom.
Jets.
That's old news, mate. That's old news, you know.
Well, I'm just saying, you got to watch what you say around these parts, pal. But yeah, so let's just I'm just going to do a bit of a generalized overview of what we had. They basically announced 4 Mario title games, one of which is Luigi and one of which is Peach based, but 4 sort of Mario IP titles that are coming, very soon. If not this year, so that was pretty exciting. Some Pokemon shizzle, as well as we got a bit of a look into Pikmin 4, and a bunch of other shit as well, which we'll cover with a bit of a overview towards the end of this segment. But let's just start from the top, Grizz. Well, Super Mario RPG, Grizz. You ever play that bad boy back in 1996?
I did, Cap. This was, for me, this was up there with my favorite RPG of all time, which is Chrono Trigger. Yeah. And for those of you who might not remember it, it was like a turn-based RPG, which is weird for a Mario game. But it had these kind of pretty cool little mechanics where it would require you to do specific button presses to empower your moves and defend and stuff. And the example is, if you go use your Mario jump on a Goomba, a turn-based ability, you would use it, then you've got to press the jump input perfectly as he hits the Goomba's head, and you can subsequently jump up and down with the right inputs to deal more and more damage. And for an RPG to have that kind of thing in it was kind of turn-based RPG. I thought that was pretty interesting. So this is a much loved, Cap, isn't it? People really love the Mario RPG.
For sure. I think it just it definitely took RPGs in a bit of a different direction. I mean, you compare to what we had around that time, you think your Final Fantasies and stuff, and a lot of those were just purely move based and, literal just taking your turns. Whereas this kind of added an extra level of interactivity, I guess, to those battles.
Absolutely.
Made them a lot more fun and stuff. But yeah, I mean, even just in general, I think it was quite a big deviation for the Super Mario franchise, because prior to that, they probably hadn't really had anything with this level of storyline or anything like that.
No, and I would nearly argue, Cap, have they had anything like this since?
Well, they've had other Super Mario RPGs. Like Super Mario RPG Dream Team is one that comes up.
Have
to
they?
the top of my head. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, they've had other RPGs, but I mean this particular one was what paved the way for those subsequent ones, right? And a lot of those, even thinking about stuff like Paper Mario and stuff like that, that's true, actually. Yeah, some of those are in the similar vein, aren't they? Yeah, exactly. I mean, obviously, Paper Mario came out on 64, but this certainly paved the way for those sort of RPG-based elements in those games. So, yeah, this is kind of the granddaddy of Mario RPGs, of which many exist. I can't really tell you many off the top of my head, but there's a shitload out there. There's Dream Team, Superstars, Saga. I mean, obviously, got all the different Paper Marios, Paper Jam. Oh, dude, there's shitloads. Sticker Star. Yeah, heaps, dude.
Now,
absolutely heaps.
Cap, I found this interesting. So this is a remake, not a remaster.
Yes, so
we've had this.
They have announced a full remake. And we've had
a full remake. So we've had a chat about this before. So a remaster is something like Dark Souls 1. They've redone the graphics and everything else, but it plays and everything is the same. From my understanding, a remake gives them, and we've already seen a couple of little things that we've had some people dig into the footage that we see, and there is some slight changes to the original mechanics-wise as well. So that'll be interesting. Yeah, so there's a little bar in the bottom left-hand corner that is not in the original. It's like a meter with a percentage on it that was not in the original. So this is the whole remake versus remaster. The remake gives you a little bit of extra,
a bit of leeway
to play with some of the
artistic license.
Such, yes,
yeah.
So that kind of got a few nerds excited to see. I mean, it obviously looks
nerd excited.
Yeah, me too. I'm pretty excited too. It looks fantastic. But the graphics style, Kat, how would you say? What would you say it kind of looks like? This remake. What do you reckon?
Well, the remake kind of resembles, well, a lot of more recent Nintendo titles, I guess. I mean, Mario Nintendo titles, kind of, the usual kind of. I don't know if you imagine any of the more recent sort of Mario 2D games, and they're kind of using similar sprites, I guess, but it's kind of got that isometric viewpoint, so it's a little bit different.
What is that? What was that Zelda game that was remade, Capo? Because it reminds me of that a lot.
You're thinking of A Link Between.
You were speedrunning it, mate. Remember that? You were speedrunning the.
Oh, sorry. No. Oh God. What the fuck? Why can't I remember that game?
Oh shit! I've done it to you. I've done it to you, haven't I? Link's Awakening. That's it. Link's Awakening.
Yeah. Thanks, Jim. You legend. Yeah, it's kind of got that plasticine kind of look to it. That plasticine kind of model looking thing. So that might give you a bit of an idea of what this looks like. Which, I mean, you kind of look at the original, and I mean, even though that was kind of pixel-ish, kind of a similar art style still. I feel like it's still kind of holding true to what that game was originally, but also taking it into this current century. So.
Absolutely, yeah. And even the viewpoint, it's kind of weird because it's top down, but it's also kind of not top down. It's almost like you're on a bit of an angle watching yourself.
They call it isometric.
Is that what it's called? Isometric. Okay.
Yeah, baby.
There you go. It's very isometric, yeah.
Yeah.
But
incredibly so.
I think this is gonna be pretty freaking good, Capo.
Yeah.
Now,
I like.
It's worth saying.
Sorry, you go. Yeah.
What do you reckon, mate? Switch on this one. Fine. No worries.
Surely it'd be fine. Fucking hell. Yeah. I mean, there's not an awful lot going on screen. They're not rendering like all of Hyrule, so I would hope that it would be okay.
Very
and
true.
if it's not, then Jesus Christ, we really need to fucking sort that console out. But we're currently watching a comparison video on Twitch right now, and that's being shown to the Twitch chat, and just the attention to detail between recreating the moves, but even at times taking those moves and changing them up a little bit more so in the graphical sense to kind of be more in line with just look better, I guess, in general.
Amazing. Looks good.
Yeah, it looks really neat. So looking forward to this one. Now, Grizz, do we know when this comes out?
It's coming November 17th, is what the trailer said. So
freaking
end of the year.
Yep.
Cool. A little bit of time.
My brother's having a baby around that time, so that'll give me something to do whilst I wait. So
yeah. Fuck, has he? Oh, that's right. Yeah. Jesus.
Yeah.
Madness, man. People having babies.
Madness. People having freaking babies. But there you go. So Super Mario RPG. Get excited if that's on your bingo card for Nintendo Direct. I bet it fucking wasn't, because it fucking surprised me.
Yeah. There was some live reacts I saw on TikTok of people just going mental about that,
Well, I just don't think anyone really expected a remake of. It's just kind of. I've always felt like the Ugly Duckling kind of, stepchild that no one, listens to, or I don't know. It just feels like Nintendo kind of made this really cool game and then didn't really. I don't know. Well, I mean, obviously they did RPG stuff later, but it kind of, I don't know. It's interesting. It's interesting. Anyways, but yeah, there you go. Super Mario RPG. Now, Grizz. You being the resident Mario fan, how do you feel about this?
Yeah. Oh, mate. We're going to be talking about Super Mario Wonder right now. And me personally, I think, okay, so just to give it a quick description to the viewers, this is a 2D Mario side scroller. I have a deep love, I guess, for the mechanics that sit behind Super Mario World, which I kind of feel like we haven't had one of those since that game, which is fast-paced. It's very fast-paced, and it is just a pretty simplistic platformer with some very intricate mechanics that sit behind that. But I think that of all the 2D Marios to date, this looks to be the most similar in speed and mechanics that I've seen. And I think that this just looks awesome.
Yeah, do you know what, mate, I was thinking a little while ago, like, what the fuck are they going to do next for Mario 2D? Like, what do they do to take that game to a different level of, how do they separate it from the more recent ones? Like, what was it? New Super Mario Brothers Land and all that other shit that came out on,
Bowser's
Wii U
Fury and a couple of others. Yeah.
Yeah. Which, I mean, those were ripping, but I kind of didn't know what the hell they were going to do next to really create a unique new title. But I feel like this is just the perfect amount of just difference in graphical style. Not that it's that wildly different. It still adheres to the classic Mario kind of tropes and level design and enemies and all that kind of shit, atmosphere and whatnot.
But
it's just different. It looks really good. Like stylistically, it looks great.
The different environments are fantastic. And another thing that gets me excited is the actual last Mario game that was released, I believe, the one before Bowser's Fury. I had a couch co-op session with Moosey and another mate, and it was a lot of fun. The 4-player, we're doing 3-player on one screen, but this just looks fantastic, mate. Like, get 4 of your friends together and play through this. It just looks a lot faster than the previous games that I've seen from them, and it looks like they kind of encouraged that through the trailer and bits and pieces. So I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's one thing that I had issue with the kind of more recent games is they just kind of felt bullshit easy to the point where it's almost mind-numbing.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that maybe, I don't expect there to be like huge difficulty or anything, but I do hope that maybe there's a little bit of a bump up in that department, because I think the other thing, Grizz, is we're obviously exposed to the Kaizo community and we know what a true, Mario challenge looks like. So, it's obviously difficult. I mean, it is also not difficult to kind of impress, but I just think it would be nice to have something that's a bit more difficult in some areas.
Yeah, and if you look at the overworld, which, by the way, Cap has done very well as well, the overworld look beautiful and very well designed. But there is difficulty stars on the levels. So that kind of makes me wonder that maybe there is some kind of content in here that will be a bit more difficult. But yeah, I think this is looking pretty positive. And the power-ups, Cap, some pretty zany power-ups we see in here.
Yeah, so they've kind of leaned hard into the unwritten kind of, not very rarely talked about thing of, Mario eating mushrooms, and the fact that, when people in real life eat random mushrooms they find on the floor, they go on a fucking massive drug trip. And that's basically what's going on.
I think so, mate. He eats this one, he goes into a bonus level, and it's like...
there's shit going on everywhere. There's like fucking dinosaurs suddenly erupting, and like all the pipes are turning into worms, and it's like he's having an acid trip, essentially. So I'm interested to see if every single world has its own unique kind of like drug trip kind of part to it, because it's kind of what it looks like. Even some of the bosses look super drug trippy. So I think it's going to be really cool, especially if they lean into it really hard. They've also got these worlds where they turn the lights off and you can see the background kind of, but you can't really see much in the foreground. And you're kind of trying to navigate. Great. And Mario's doing all kinds of weird shit, like turning really long, like turning into long Mario. So it's pretty cool. But at the very end, we see him pick up an elephant trunk.
Turns into like an elephant, starts moving around.
Turns into elephant Mario. Of all the shit they could choose, I do wonder what the moveset's going to be for that. It looks like he can smack things away with his trunk, but I wonder if there will be mice in here, and they'll do the classic cliche thing where a mouse is around and you're fucking scared of the old mouse. So
they did that in the old Donkey Kong Country too, didn't they? And it looks like they got these little flowers that give you hints and speak to you and stuff in the background too. So
yeah. Looks really cool though. Super Mario
I think it does look very good. Like it.
Yeah. Very wondrous looking title, Grizz. And this one comes out on October 20th. So that's even 20th. Sooner.
Sheesh. Wow. Yeah.
Sheesh.
Getting a few. Yeah. Are they releasing one Mario game per year, Cap, or what? I feel like
this is like 2, man. This is like 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But absolutely. I mean this vein, as in like the platformers. Or
that's a very good question. I don't actually know. When was the last platformer that they did
I think
for
it was
Mario?
Bowser's Fury. I think it was Bowser's Fury, wasn't it?
That was a DLC, wasn't it?
Was that a DLC? Not
Yeah, it was a
100%
DLC for
sure.
something else. Bowser's Fury. Yeah, I'll tell you right now, mate. I'll tell you if I get it right now. It is. It was for Super Mario 3D World.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah, which was on Nintendo Switch. But 3D World, I'm pretty sure that came out fucking ages ago.
Yeah, that's an oldie, that one.
Here we go.
Oldie but a goodie.
Yeah, oldie but a goodie. But yeah, so look, it's been a while between 2D games, so I think this is
okay.
going to be a nice addition, and I think the aesthetic's really cool as well. So looking freaking forward to this bad boy. Jim's saying got a re-release on Switch, which makes sense because I thought that 3D World was old. I actually remember playing 3D World with Mia when we first started dating. We bought a Wii U to play games together, and then we never played games together ever again because Mia couldn't keep up.
Dude, Moz and I were the same. We fucking played Wii Sports. She cracked me in the head with a controller with volleyball, and now she doesn't play any games at all.
Yeah, well, that sounds good. It sounds like she gets a bit violent. So
she does. Yeah.
Brilliant. But yeah, so there you go. Now moving along, Grizz, Pikmin 4 got a nice big juicy trailer. Well, it didn't really show off an awful lot. It kind of just said, "Hey, it's more of the same shit that you know and love."
This fucking game, Cap. Like, do you reckon the bloke that designed this game originally was on acid or something? Because it is the most random animation and collection of sprites, call them that I think I've seen in a video game. They are just so fucking random.
It reminds me of one of those old Japanese games you find on the Dreamcast or something, and you just never hear of those games again. Like, you're right. I mean, the enemies and the characters, the little Pikmin, they're just very weird and wonderful. But I mean, it's a fairly beloved franchise now. I mean, it's obviously loved enough to get a fourth iteration, which we're obviously seeing now. So, absolutely, it looks cool. I don't know. I don't know. It just looks like another Pikmin game, and I haven't really played an awful lot of them anyway. But it's kind of got the same thing going on where you're running around as your little astronaut man, and you've got these little Pikmin creatures behind you, and each of the Pikmin do certain types of things. You know, some have different elements that they embody, or they might be electricity, or freezing, or fire, or some shit. And you use those different elements to your advantage in the open world kind of level area or against enemies. So pretty cool. But they've leaned hard into this whole idea of you doing creating your own Pikmin person to resemble yourself a little bit more, which is pretty cool. Yeah, so you're not playing Olimar or whoever else the other guy was. You're able to create your own little Pikmin astronaut person. But it looks like they've actually got like a 2-player battle mode, which
I was looking at that. Yeah, it's like a little PvP mode in this, hey, Cap?
Yeah, which I think that's actually pretty rad. I think it probably needed something else going for it rather than just the single player experience. So that could be pretty fun. Depends on how enjoyable that game mode's going to be. But yeah, I think overall the game looks pretty rad. Looks like they've got some new interesting ways for you to interact with your different Pikmin and different Pikmin types. I'm just looking now; they've got like ghost Pikmin as well now that do all kinds of weird and wonderful shit. So looks like they've definitely taken the whole Pikmin equation in a different direction slightly. But yeah, it just looks like more of the same Pikmin stuff. And that whole thing where you're kind of playing in this world that is like someone's been shrunk down in the real world, and
everything's kind of grounded a little bit, isn't it? You're like
definitely got a grounded vibe. Honey, I Shrunk the Pikmin thing going on. So, but yeah, looks pretty interesting. I don't know if I'll pick it up day one. Maybe wait for a little sale or something. But
it's coming out very soon. Cap comes out.
Is it?
When like next week? I think.
Is it next week? Are you joking me?
28th of June, mate. Yeah,
28th of June. Okay. No, it's launching.
That's like 2 days, mate.
This says the demo is available on the 28th of June. It's launching on the 21st of July, though.
Okay, oh, yes,
So
right.
actually,
Yep,
there you go. Bit of a demo to play. What's today? Monday, Tuesday,
Mm.
Wednesday. So a demo will be out on Wednesday. So
You have to
pretty
pick that
freaking
one
radical.
up, Cap, eh? What do you reckon,
They're
mate?
also doing remasters, Grizz, of Pikmin 1 and 2 for the Switch. So if you want to familiarize yourself with the Pikmin, party, you want to get in on the Pikmin party, go on freaking party with 1 and 2 with the HD remasters. So
I think I'm all right, mate. I'll let you. You seem to be the one exploring many different video games, mate. I'll leave these Pikmin games to you. I think, Capo.
I don't know. I reckon we might outsource this one to Pav. To be honest, I think this is Pav's zone. He's
Pav is too busy on his
new gaming console,
new device.
We're going to talk about later. But so Pikmin 4 looking pretty cool. Now, Grizz.
Yeah.
We also got a couple of other Mario games announced. First, I'm just going to quickly chuck this one out. Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon, which I believe is a remaster of, is that a GameCube game? I think.
The old Luigi's Mansion games. Are they the ones where you suck people through the Ghostbusters
yes.
thing?
Yeah. They leaned really hard into the whole Ghostbusters thing. So
a lot of people loved those games, didn't they? People liked those, eh?
Oh, absolutely. Some of the more recent ones were great. I just think they've got really good personality, because they lean hard into the sort of boo ghost thing and going into a haunted place and Luigi's just shitting himself the whole time and he's vacuum cleaning all these ghosts and the ghosts are doing shit like you find them in the shower and they're like, what are you fucking doing in here? Stuff like that. It's really good. So they announced that this is a remake of the GameCube one, so they're remaking that for Nintendo Switch. But what they also announced was that Peach is getting her own game, which looked fairly interesting. We only got a short little kind of reveal trailer of Peach doing some stuff, but it's kind of like she just looks like she's running left to right mostly. And
casting magic on things,
casting magic on things, but it looks like she's on like the set of a play or something.
Actually, that's very true. I didn't pick up on that. Yeah, and she's also changing clothes, so maybe it is
as you might on the set of a play in between scenes. Grizzly.
Oh, mate, I think you've unraveled it.
Yeah,
you've unraveled it.
Figured it out. So I think there's sort of something there going on. I think it'll be like Peach's. You
know what, Cap? I'm surprised they haven't leveraged off a Peach IP earlier because I feel like that's what's going to for my girls, for example. Mario's great, but I think they'd be more inclined to pick up a dedicated Peach game than a Mario game.
Yeah, absolutely. Maybe they're just starting to see that now. I mean, I saw a statistic the other day that 50% of, I can't remember which console it was, it might have been the Switch, in the United States, 50% of Switch consoles, I'm just going to say it's that one, and it's probably going to be wrong, but someone can Twitter me later and say, hey, you fucking idiot, it was this one. 50% of Switch consoles are owned by women. So not to say that, we need a Peach kind of game that leans hard into the sort of feminism kind of themes, but it's nice to have those options for people who want to get stuck into a game like that. I mean, I don't know, the game looks interesting so far.
Absolutely. And that would be a high stat in gaming, right, Cap? I think like when you look at other consoles like PlayStations and whatnot, it'd be interesting to know what the difference is there between that. But I can see that, man. I think there's a lot of things that cater for a lot of different people on the Switch. We've got
absolutely.
What is that? Animal Crossing and Stardew Valley and all those kind of, nice.
Exactly right. I mean, it's just it's something for everyone, right? But I think even just the idea of gaming is a bit more generic these days. Gone are the days where the classic cliche of the bloke sitting in his mum's basement playing video games. I mean, that's it is
Devolver
sometimes.
Digital. What is it called? What's that game called, Cap?
Baby Steps.
My notes. Baby Steps. Yeah.
Gone are those days, and even like you think about the old marketing that floated around where in the Sega and Nintendo Entertainment System days, and it was just like big-breasted women like holding GameCube controllers and shit like that. I mean, that's just not the target market is just so different these days. So it's cool to see, a bit of a change.
Although, Megan Fox coming out. Did you see the Megan Fox thing in Diablo 4? Did you see that?
What was that all about, mate? Can you explain that to me?
Okay, I can explain this to you. So, the race for 1,000 hardcore players to reach level 100, Blizzard brought out this thing that if you died, you could submit your death clips to Diablo 4 death, a hashtag, on Twitter, and you would have a chance that Megan Fox would read your obituary for your, is that what it's called? For your death, basically.
What the fuck? Why did they choose Megan Fox?
I don't fucking know, mate. So she had red lipstick on and she was looking all devilized and whatnot.
Wow. Okay. But, I suppose she's got a Lilith-esque thing going on, but
yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Yeah, that's cool. I mean, I do like that kind of thing. It's just random and funny, a bit wacky, but just kind of goes back to the whole marketing around Diablo 4. Like, I mean, I feel like Blizzard's marketing budget were just out of control for that game. Dude, I have seen that on so many buses. It's out of control.
Right? Have you? Yeah.
Yeah. Shit.
I would love to know what their marketing budget was, man. I would love to know.
Must have been huge. But I mean, they had things like freaking flyovers and massive cosplay events where they were walking through like Sydney and stuff. And
that's right. They must have done that in every major city, surely around the world.
Well, I mean, they're obviously doing it in a number of different places. So, and that's not cheap. You got to pay these people to do all this shit. So, people require sustenance. So, yeah, interesting. Anyway, what were we talking about? Peach. Anyways, Peach is getting the game. So there you go.
Oh God, dude.
Yeah, so there you go. All right, Grizz. Next, I wanted to pull this one out because I thought this was really interesting. So Dragon Quest. You ever play any of the Dragon Quest games, Grizz? Pick one from the.
I'm pretty sure I watched you play Dragon Builders, the Builder one. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I haven't played it myself, mate.
Minecraft, I guess. Which was actually a bloody solid game.
Yeah, I remember you absolutely raving about that. You're trying to get me to come play. I think, was it you and Pav that were playing it, or Dano maybe, or a bunch of people?
Was playing. I think Dano was playing as well. Yeah, Builders was really good. It was kind of like Minecraft with some actual goals and quest lines, which was really cool. There was a lot of things I really liked in Builders, especially, there was little kind of side quests where you'd walk up to someone and they'd be like, oh, can you build me a house? I want this, this, and this in it, and here's roughly how I want it sort of staged out. And then you go and build it. And I don't know, I just really liked the way they put it together. I thought it was really, really solid. Now, Dragon Quest has kind of been dipping its toes into many different genres, and the most recent one is in its new game, Dragon Quest Monsters: The Dark Prince, and it is literally Pokemon.
It is Pokemon. Big
literally
time.
Pokemon.
Although I feel like there's some mechanics that they talk about in here that are better. Well, I don't know. It kind of goes into what you were saying last week, but you can combine monsters to create hybrids in this cap. I think that.
Yes.
I think that is cool. I like that.
Wow, you guys have just taken the Pokemon one step and then gone, hey, cassette piece looks pretty cool. Let's do that as well. Because I don't know. Anyways, cassette base has a good thing going, so I don't blame them. But this game looks really interesting. There's quite a significant monster menagerie in Dragon Quest across all the different games. So this new game kind of just leverages that heavily and basically enables you to catch these monsters and then use them as slaves to the Dark Prince. So and then like you said, you can combine them. But I'm really interested to see how this game plays out because so far I've really enjoyed every non-mainline Dragon Quest game that they've kind of tried to dip their toes into a different genre. So I reckon I'll probably give this one a crack.
You reckon they can do a good job of this too, you reckon, Capo? I wonder whether they'll ever hit one of these offbeat games and then go, wow, we should make this our niche now and just start making more of them.
I don't know.
because,
They kind of remind me of like the AAA equivalent of the SteamWorld games, because
Yeah,
SteamWorld
okay.
was like, oh, let's do this dig game. Okay, now let's do a card game. Okay, now let's do a
Yeah.
stealth XCOM game. All right, now let's do a top-down fucking Sim City builder. Okay, and Dragon Quest have kind of done the same thing. They've been like, all right, let's try out a little bit of Minecraft. Let's do a little bit of Pokemon. All right, I think they've done something else that it's not coming to mind, but yeah, it looks cool. So the Dark Prince, worth a bit of a check out for the announcements trailer. It's got the classic kind of what's his name, Toriyama, I think is his name, the artist who is also the artist for Dragon Ball Z and stuff like that. So, and Chrono Trigger, might I say, Grizzly Gaming 86. So
Great game. Yep.
great
Fantastic
game. Great art. So
Great art.
actually,
Yep.
going back to Super Mario RPG.
Yes.
Quickly, before we move on to other stuff. Apparently, there's rumors and rumblings of a Chrono Trigger remake.
Yeah, you mentioned that. Where are those rumblings coming from, Cap? Where are they? Where are you hearing that?
Probably my tummy. No, I'm not too sure, to be quite honest. I can't remember where I saw it, but
Intuition.
You always take these things with a fucking grain of salt. But generally, I don't know. I think now's a fucking good time for a remake. For Chrono Trigger, because that game is just a fucking masterpiece. And imagine if they came out with, maybe something similar to what's being done with Super Mario RPG. Maybe even they go a little bit funky and they do some cool shit like what's been happening with the Final Fantasy VII remake. And maybe they take the story a little bit off the beaten track, but they have some weird shit going on. That could be really cool.
With the just question, with the
Answer,
Mario RPG music, Cap, do they like get all the music redone and stuff as well? Is it the same songs? Because I'm just thinking
the same songs, but they might do an orchestral thing.
Yeah, I think Chrono Trigger, like how amazing that whole OST is in that.
Oh, absolutely.
I'd love to hear another. Them properly redo that as part of that game.
I'm sure whatever it would be would include a significant redo of. I mean, ultimately these songs are, they're there to be redone, right? You see how many people play these songs on YouTube and shit with their freaking guitars, or they do it with a freaking toaster hooked up to a freaking synth or some shit.
There's some great ones. Yeah.
I mean, this is what they'll do. They'll just freaking do it. But I could really get on board for like a Chrono Trigger. Like, imagine a 3D Chrono Trigger.
Yeah, that'd be sick.
That could be pretty tight.
Sick.
So
would be great.
Pretty cool. Anyways, there was a bunch of other shit that was announced as well, Grizz. I'm going to quickly just sort of, sputter over the top of them. So we had, the one thing I thought was quite funny was Detective Pikachu's getting a sequel. I didn't even know there was a first one, but I suppose it makes sense because there was a movie, right? So it was obviously based off the game. Yeah. So, Detective Pikachu's coming back and he's got freaking attitude, baby. So prepare yourself to solve a bunch of freaking mysteries and moiders, maybe. I don't know if there's murder in that game, but prepare yourself. Pokemon-esque themed as well. There's a DLC coming to Scarlet and Violet called Hidden Treasure of Area Zero. Split into two parts, the teal mask and the indigo disc. Looks like they're the treasures, and you're going to go and find the treasures. So there you go.
Very nice.
Nintendo's bringing out a couple of Tears of the Kingdom amiibos. You're going to get a Zelda one and a Ganondorf one, both looking very cool. Mario Kart's getting the DLC again. You're also getting the Metal Gear Solid collection on Switch, which will look pretty fucking good. You're going to get Metal Gear Solid 1, 2, and 3 on there. That's for the Volume 1. We're also getting a WarioWare game. Vampire Survivors is coming with couch co-op.
Cap, if Vampire Surviving is coming to Twitch, mate, my question to Nintendo is...
It's already on Twitch, but it's coming to Switch.
Switch is when is Brotato coming? That's the real question here, mate.
Brotato couch potato co-op. Hey?
Yeah.
Hey?
That's it.
Hey?
That's it,
Not
mate.
bad.
That
Not
is
bad.
it. But honestly, Dude, co-op. I didn't realize it was co-op. That sounds amazing. Vampire Survivors co-op would be
That
sick.
could be freaking cool. So, so that looks pretty rad. Sonic Superstars. That's a just a freaking Sonic game. If you like Sonic, you're probably going to froth on that one. Also getting a full remake of Star Ocean: The Second Stories. R. Just the letter R. I've never played any of the Star Ocean games, but people froth on them. Good, apparently really good JRPGs. This is getting the full 2D HD remake thing. So looking pretty rad. Getting a bunch of indie titles, and we're also getting Persona 5 Tactica, and the Batman Arkham trilogy is coming to the Switch as well. Be interesting to see how well that runs.
Ooh, interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, go on the Squiz. There's a bunch of shit out there.
There's one game there that I just wanted to quickly mention is the one called Silent Hope. Did you have a look at that trailer?
No, I didn't.
Kind of like an anime combat RPG, Zelda-like kind of base building that I thought looked like it has potential. So maybe in your own time, mate, go and have a quick little sticky beak at that one. But it is real time fighting action, kind of like isometric, as Jim would say, top down, but from an angle.
Top down,
and it looks pretty good, actually. I think it looks pretty cool. Very anime kind of looking. But there is base building mechanics and stuff in there. So,
this kind of reminds me of Fantasy Life, which is another similar RPG on Nintendo consoles in a similar kind of art style as well. But this is a little bit more heavy on the anime. So, yeah, it looks interesting. That's for sure. Looks like you can kind of do a bit of farming, bit of this, bit of that. So, could be rad, Grizz. Could be
rad, mate. Could be.
Could also be shit.
Yeah.
Could be shit. You never know.
Shit. Yeah. Could be.
All right, Grizz. Now, talking about shit, people are stealing people's voices, Grizz. And those people are fucking sick of it. They're sick of their voices being stolen from them.
This
all right.
This is a common thing here, Cap, and you're going to go into the story in a second, but we've been talking about AI everything recently on this podcast, you know, AI art, fucking you name it. AI.
Yeah. AI. You know what I'm saying?
AI. So talk me through it, mate. What's happened?
All right. So basically, what's happened is the voice actors for Solid Snake, David Hayter, and Commander Shepard. Now, what was their name? Jennifer Hale. Jennifer Hale, and Jennifer Hale's done a shitload of stuff as well, not just Commander Shepard. Anyways, they kind of came in.
What fucking game is Commander Shepard from, Cap?
Mass Effect, my friend.
Mass Effect, yes,
Mass
of course.
Effect, and obviously Solid Snake is from Metal Gear Solid. So yeah.
Dude, now, MGB Live. I don't give a damn.
Hey, freaking got him. AI,
I like it.
Very nice little AI joke. But yeah, so anyways, they basically just kind of had a bit of a yarn to a journalist about the fact that AI is essentially copyright infringing their voice. Essentially, anyone Hayter said anyone who steals your voice should be locked up forever. But I also have a different perspective on it. Absolutely, because obviously this is how they make their money. But it's probably a fair thing if you're utilizing someone else's property. Which I mean, where do you draw the line on that when it comes to sound, right? If someone stole some of the Beatles', iconic licks,
copyright.
I mean, it would be catastrophic, and that person or conglomerate would certainly be up for a fair bit of money. Whereas when it comes to voices, it's a bit more difficult to really kind of draw the line between what you do and don't own. So
absolutely,
there's
no regulation, is there?
Exactly, nothing yet.
It kind of mentions here, if I was to take your face, for example, and use it to promote my product without your permission, you'd be suing the pants off me, and rightly so. Whereas that is just not true for the voice, So how do you?
Well, exactly right, and
do it.
Exactly. I suppose it's going to probably come down to some kind of DCMA system, but I just don't think this is the issue with AI is because it's moving so quickly. Lawmakers are struggling to really kind of keep up with it because, I mean, something that they put into effect now might not really be compatible in 6 months' time, for example, because just shit's changing so much in the AI landscape. I suppose things like this are probably a little bit easier to probably put some kind of control over the top because ultimately, you own your voice. I would hope at least that I own my own voice. And hopefully, if someone, is proven to have utilized my voice for their own gains, hopefully someone might support me in seeking retribution for that. So I think I definitely support these voice actors, especially when their bread and butter is, using their voice to make money. I get it. And I guess I support them. Absolutely.
So
where do
I
you
think
sit on it?
I think it's an interesting space, Kat, and I've got kind of two takeaways on this. So I think if you're commercially making money from it, say if you're a game dev and you've used an AI voice to imitate a well-known actor for that voice, and let's just say the narrator Morgan Freeman, right? You use a voice like that to do some narration. You sell this game, you ship it. Like, I think that needs to be regulated. But say if you're a Joe Blow like me and I want to use Morgan Freeman's voice on my mod tools to narrate my Dungeons & Dragons campaign to my brothers, which I do have, by the way. I've got a voice changer. Hello, I'm a dragon. I can do lots of different shit on here. And I can do Morgan Freeman. I think that there needs to come a line of depending on what you're using it. And, that's where the regulation's got to come in and actually put that line somewhere. But I agree, Cap. If you've got a game dev, mate, that's designing a game, they're using AI voice for stuff that is, someone else's voice. They're going to be paying for that, surely.
Well, yeah. And actually, Straight Jacket Jim in chat raises some pretty interesting questions that I hadn't really considered. In terms of voices, what about impressionists or parodies? What about VAs that get replaced but still do the same character's voice? Yeah, it's a good point. I suppose then it kind of almost lands into intellectual property territory. So you're right. And I mean, I guess also, there's not an infinite number of voices. I guess people quite often overlap to some degree with their inflections and how they talk, so it's kind of hard, really. I guess I think it more so comes down to just it's hard to really gauge whether something's malicious or not, but maliciousness, whether they're utilizing that voice to maybe do something hateful or I don't know. I think there needs to be some kind of control on it because these kinds of people who make their cash like this probably need to be protected in some way or just paid better. I don't know.
I agree. And the same could be said for the art as well, Kat, with AI art, is that we've got an issue with that too. But I also think about it this way too, Kat, is in the AI art space and probably the voice acting as well, a lot of people are really negative towards the technology itself. Like they're not happy that we've got a tool that can use art to create art. And I think that is not the correct way to kind of think about it. Because I think if the technology is there and the technology is great, it's going to be used regardless. And I think it's great technology. Being able to imitate someone else's voice, it just needs to be regulated and people need to be credited for their work or their voices or whatever else. And I keep relating this to my first ever job. Cap was a science diver, mate. I was getting paid to go out and take photos of corals, and that job died in the ass because they found out they could go get a robot to do the exact same thing, but it was cheaper and safer. So I kind of think, I know that this is completely different. It's creativity and people's jobs on the lines, but you can't be thwarting technology. It needs to be this kind of middle ground where you're still crediting the people as they are, but technology.
It's always going to be the age-old problem, Grizz, I think, is trying to bridge that gap. And especially when technologies like AI is moving so quickly, how do you effectively do that? So
how do you? That's right.
You're right. You're right. But I do think ultimately, it sucks that these people maybe this is where life is going, Grizz, is it's just going to be fucking AI voice acting from now on. Yeah.
Maybe just robots are going to just take over and be doing everything. And we can just relax.
To some degree.
Send my robot to work for me tomorrow, Cap. Well, that's true.
Can I get one of those? That sounds great. But yes, there you go. AI freaking voice acting. Now, we had a poll this week, and I think
we did have a
might
poll.
talk about that. When are we going to talk about that, Grizz? We'll talk about it now. Let's just drop it now. So this week we asked the following question. Once I get the Twitter up, because I didn't put a link in there. Classic. Have you got it up there, Grizz?
Yep, I do.
Yep. All right, go on.
Okay. Just scrolling down. All right, here we go. Right. Time for the OGR poll. Microsoft announced that it will be hiking prices for its console version of the Game Pass from $10.95 to $11.95, and Game Pass Ultimate from $15.95 to $18.95. PC Game Pass remains unchanged. Will this affect you maintaining or subbing to the Game Pass?
Yep.
Was the question.
We had the following: yes, dropping their sub; no, keeping their sub; no, as in I don't want it anyway; and changing tier, going from ultimate to normal. We had the following: yes, dropping their subscription in light of these changes, 7.7%. No, don't want it anyway, 30.8%. And no, I am going to be keeping my sub. This doesn't bother me at all at 61.5%.
Okay. So people don't seem to mind, Cap. Well, I guess maybe these are PC gamers potentially. So
this is purely console gaming. I mean, for me right now, I've got a PC Game Pass, so it doesn't affect me at all because the PC Game Pass is unchanged. Yeah. Though I think I've got Ultimate at the moment, so I think that's going to be going up in price. So maybe I will consider it. I don't know. You know, the standard Game Pass is going up $1, and then the Ultimate's going up $3, which it's not much, but I mean, something's got to give, Grizz. Something's got to break the camel's back. So it could be that $3.
I must say, Cap, I'm not overly impressed with the PlayStation Game Pass that I've got at the moment.
No, I don't even have one, dude, because I don't use it.
Dude. Yeah,
I think I get more value out of the Xbox Game Pass because they tend to drop a fair few little indie bangers in there.
It's like three games I got or something with the subscription that I've got. No, none of them. I don't want to play any of them. I don't want any of them. So it's like, well, dang.
Yeah,
I was hoping I could get on the library. I think on the Xbox one. See, what I wanted to do was get my daughter on the library and get her to have a look through and pick a game that she wanted to play.
Yeah.
And I was just a bit disappointed, mate. So I think I'll can it.
Yeah. I think. I mean, I think Xbox has the best offering in my opinion. But everyone has a different opinion, so don't listen to them. But yeah. Anyways, that was the OGR poll. You can go and check out next week's poll by going to twitter.com/OGR show. Follow us there and keep an eye out on the weekend. We post a poll there that you can vote in. So, very cool. All right, Grizz, got a question for you. Good question. I just want to ask you, how's your gaming been going?
Well, I actually stuck to my word last week, Capo, and I did install and play Darkest Dungeon 2, which is was the highly anticipated sequel to the grim roguelite Darkest Dungeon 1 by Red Hook Studios. Now, I think I mentioned multiple times in this podcast that I'd played the beta of this and wasn't particularly impressed with it, mainly because I felt like it was missing the things from Darkest Dungeon 1 that made me fall in love with that game, which was the base kind of mechanics where you would sit outside of your run and you would build your base up, the roguelite features, and you'd put your players into the pub to de-stress and this one to the whorehouse to de-stress. And that whole thing was missing from the beta. So I don't know. It left me with a bit of disappointment. But I can say, Cap, they have done an amazing job with this game. And right now, I would give it 8.5 Grizzlies out of 10. Wow. I think what they've done with the art. I'll start with the artwork first, Cap. The artwork, and you can help me explain this a little bit. But essentially, they've taken this. It rarely It is a really unique art style. It's kind of like this grim, dark,
Yeah.
kind of mixing
Bold
2D,
lines.
3D, animation.
Yeah, I mean, if you think
Um,
about the original art style for Darkest Dungeon, it's kind of got that bold lines. I mean, the colors that they use, they stick to a fairly red-black kind of
They
color
do.
palette with some very low kind of tonal colors in between. And everything, like you said, is very grim and dark, but they've kind of moved to this kind of blended 3D thing with that same art style, which just looks mint.
Yeah, so like the attack moves and stuff for all your different characters, they've just animated them so fantastically, and they've kind of built upon the mechanic in the first game. So what sits behind the game, it's essentially like a dungeon crawler. You have your party that you go out, and you've got to kind of think about a couple of different mechanics. One of them is this stress mechanic, where depending on how you play the battles, you might take a heap of damage or get hit by a certain ability, and you can see a stress meter that will build up on your character. And once you're at full stress, there is a chance that you can literally die on the spot. Or there's also a chance that you might actually overcome your stress and get a positive quirk. What happens is all your characters end up with these different quirks, different things that will make them strong or weak depending on what they've experienced in the game. And that's really cool. But a new mechanic they've put in here, Kat, which wasn't in Darkest Dungeon 1, is relationships. So each of your players will have an attitude against each other, whether it's positive or negative. And these attitudes and relationships will empower skills. They'll kind of impact your decisions that you make on your runs. So you really got to think about the decisions you're making and how the relationships of the characters in your party are going to either be negative or positive, depending on the choice you've made. So I think that's a really cool addition to the game. Kind of makes you think about the decisions you're making and more broadly how it affects your party. So yeah, anyway, very good, Cap. And I think the biggest thing that I like about it that I didn't see in the beta was the roguelite aspects. So outside of each run, you do have a way to increase the power of your party and unlock things and spend this kind of currency called, I think it's candles, in this world, and kind of build up your own little way to play the game. But so far, I think I've sunk about 10 hours in over the weekend, and yeah, not stopping yet. Seems very, very cool. I've had a couple of deaths where I've just died like instantly, which is typical Darkest Dungeon. But yeah, really enjoyed it. Capo?
Yeah, rad, mate.
Forward.
I think
Looking
it's
forward to
something I
more.
definitely want to pick up probably when it goes on sale. I think I'll grab a copy of it for this. It looks like a great Steam Deck game. I definitely like.
Actually, does look like a great Steam Deck game. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it looks really wicked, mate. So, yeah, no, really keen on giving that one a crack. Have you played anything else this week, Grizzler?
I picked up D4 again yesterday, so I've still got my hardcore character lives, level 62, still alive. Started pushing some of the nightmare dungeons. I think they're level 13 or 14 dungeons, so cruising through that. But that's pretty much it, mate. And my question to you, Cap, how's your gaming going, mate?
Gaming's been going pretty bloody good. Pretty bloody good, mate. But also pretty bloody underwhelming in some ways as well.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah. So let's get the underwhelming stuff out the road first.
Okay. Give it to me.
I actually think Final Fantasy 16 is a bit crap.
Oh, shit. Actually, I was surprised that wasn't on our run sheet to talk about that release, mate, by the way.
Well, it is. I'm talking about it right now.
This is it.
This is it.
Now, mate, it's kind of weird. I saw like mixed reviews on my Twitter.
Yeah, it's getting a lot of really good reviews from critics and stuff, and I can see why. It stylistically, I think it's a really nice movement and direction for the series. I think that I really like the world that they've built. I really like the universe that they built. I really like the lore that they've built around, the characters and what's sort of going on in this kind of Game of Thrones inspired world. The story is pretty good, pretty damn good. I think a lot of what really got me hyped for this game was that initial demo that came out, and it was basically the first kind of chapter. You learn a bit about the main characters and then some of their motives and what the setup is. But it's just after having played more of the main game, they have completely gutted the RPG mechanics of Final Fantasy to the point where I just feel like I'm walking down a long road and just running into enemies and just doing the same combat over and over again. And it's really disappointing because that same combat that's getting done over and over again looks fucking awesome. And to begin with, it felt great. But it is just so hyperlinear to the point where I feel like the decisions I'm making with my character in terms of gear, how I'm spending my money, etc., is completely useless because I'm just being drip fed everything at a certain rate. So I kind of have this shit at the right time anyway.
Now the combat is real time, isn't it?
It is a real time combat system with kind of it kind of takes on like a, you kind of do I guess like attacks and you have cooldown moves and you execute those. And I think the combat has a lot of cool things going for it.
I didn't pay $70 for Elden Ring, and it was like a video of him dodging around this boss that looked like fucking Elden Ring.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the bosses are pretty cool actually, and they feel great. But the issue I have is I just feel like I tackle every single bit of combat in exactly the same way. There's no, none of the even when it comes to things like, enemies don't have particular resistances or anything. Like, they're not weak to, fire or ice or anything. And you have these abilities, I guess, at some point during the game. But I just feel like the game systems are just underdeveloped. They put everything into the story and the art style and the actual animations, but there's just the actual game systems have no substance. And it's really unfortunate because there's a lot to love here, but it's just not holding my attention because it's just fucking boring, honestly. Like there's also very little reason to go and explore the small little kind of mini open world areas that you get placed in. The stuff that you find is generally like really boring, like potions and just shit like that. And it's just, I'm really disappointed, honestly. I'm probably maybe an hour away from just going fuck it and just watching a recap of what happens in the game on YouTube.
Is it getting shit reviews, Cap, similar to what you're
getting shit user reviews, I think. User reviews are sitting at 6.7 or something on Metacritic, and Metacritic sitting at about 87 out of 100, I guess. But
it's a bit disappointing, isn't it?
It is really disappointing because honestly, I feel like the demo was just this incredible like pre-release marketing thing that they did that just made me think, amazing. Holy fuck, this is like a game of the year contender. But now I'm just like, it just has underwhelmed impressively. It's impressive how quickly I've become underwhelmed by this game, in all honesty. But it's a real shame. I'm going to keep playing it for a little bit longer and see how I go, but it's getting very close to a little YouTube recap. So we'll see what happens. But other than that, I continued playing Cassette Beasts. That game is great.
Pretty good.
Fucking solid, fucking Pokemon-esque game. Does its own thing, though. I really like the way it goes into, I just like the way it handles the idea of monsters and the way you kind of have a shared health pool in a way, and the way that interacts with you capturing monsters and adding different moves to different monsters. It's incredible because some monsters you can completely wipe out all their moves and put a completely different move set on them, and they become a completely different play style. Is
that right?
It's fucking rad. It is such a good game, and it's easy to see why it is overwhelmingly positive on Steam because it fucking deserves it. It's such a good game. If you're interested in Pokemon style games and you're not playing Cassette Beasts, you are fucking sleeping on this game because it is so fucking good. Pav, back me up.
Cannot agree more. There's actually an update for it coming this week.
Yeah. So more content. It's actually amazing how good it is. And I don't know if you agree, Pav, but there's just enough difficulty there to make it resistant, but not boring. You know what I mean?
And I find myself over leveling, but it's not like reducing the difficulty in like certain.
No,
areas
I
as
feel
well.
like I'm over leveled, but then I get to a fight and I'm like, fucking hell, that was actually really hard.
Yeah,
what the hell?
100%.
But yeah, it's just the perfect difficulty curve. It's just the way they've made this game. They've done a really good job. Really, really impressed actually.
Sounds like it's up there with Brotato, mate. Jeez.
Yeah, just close. Not quite the top Metacritic contender that Brotato is. But yeah, now another little game I've been playing as well is a game called Eastward. This has been on my wish list for ages, and I decided to pick it up. Eastward is a Zelda-like, and it is made by Chucklefish, who do a bunch of games, including I think they might do Terraria or Starfield, one of the two. No, not Starfield, the other one.
I've seen the name. Oh, they do, mate. They do
Eastward.
Chucklefish.
Eastward, as in WARD. Eastwood. Yeah, these guys, they do Stardew Valley, they do Starbound, and a bunch of other shit. But yeah. Oh, and they do Wild
They did
Frost.
Wild Frost. That's where I've seen it. Wild Frost. Yeah.
So they did this game as well. It's got it oozes a lot of personality. It's a lot of fun. Kind of that top-down pixel kind of thing that is going on with something like A Link to the Past or whatever. It takes place in this underground community where they banish people for trying to go to the surface of the planet Earth for some unknown reason. This bloke who works in the mines in this underground community finds this little girl in this fucking capsule and then kind of becomes her faux father kind of figure. And you kind of go through this really stylistic little pixel adventure with her as your sidekick. And it's just really well done. A lot of fun as a little kind of top-down Zelda-like. If you're looking for that kind of niche to be filled in your life right now, that's a great game. And I think it's on special at the moment as well. So go and check it out. They've got kind of a lot of really fun little puzzle mechanics, and your main character, he uses a pan to smack the shit out of things, and it's just a really good game so far. I'm really enjoying it. The story is actually really fun and whimsical, but not garbage, so that's nice. But yeah, really, really good fun. Now, I don't know if you guys are aware, but it is the Steam Next Fest on Steam. You guys know what that's all about? No? So
never heard of it. Sorry, Capo.
A full week or some shit. I can't remember the exact dates. I think it ends by July or something. I'll get the dates here. But 7 days of hundreds of demos and live streaming of the hottest new games coming out soon. TM. So it goes from June 19th to June 26th, which is, well, that's today. So it's almost over. But anyways, there's a shitload of demos that are out and about at the moment. So I picked out a few that I saw floating around in my suggested list, and I did a bit of Googling for people, just seeing what they suggested to go and check out, and I kind of picked out a few. I hadn't had an awful lot of time to play any of these really in depth, but I played 3 main ones, and I meant to try out Broken Roads, which is it's like an Australian isometric. There's that word again, Grizz.
There you go. Yep.
Fallout game, similar to like the Wasteland series, but I'm talking
the
like
original
early Fallout
games were like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is set in Australia and post-apocalyptic kind of RPG thing. So I've been meaning to give that a crack. I'll get to it eventually, but it looks really fucking good. Anyways, didn't get to play that one, but I got to play 3 other games. Now, first game, I played Wizard with a Gun.
Wizard with a Gun.
Yep. Now that is
good.
That
we saw
game.
That. Yeah. Dude, how is it, Cap?
It's,
I'm interested to know.
It's quite good. It's kind of got it feels a lot like Bastion. You might remember Bastion. That is from Supergiant Games. They are the guys that did Hades. One of their earlier games was called Bastion. The combat kind of feels like that, but probably a little bit more responsive in some ways. But it's really good. It's kind of got this. It definitely is channeling the Dark Tower books.
Is it? Yeah.
Yeah. Because
like
even in the game, like you're going to a tower.
Gunslinger.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, they got this magician gunslinger thing going on, and it feels really good so far. I didn't manage to get too deep into it, but the combat felt really slick. You're kind of rolling around and shooting your gun and using like in the world you can smack trees and shit to get resources and use those resources to craft bullets and stuff for your special magician gun. And I haven't fought a boss or anything yet, but so far the combat was really fun, and it looks like there's base building mechanics later on as well. So definitely one to keep your eye on. A lot of people are really frothing on that demo, so that's been really good. Now, you may have seen on Twitter, but I posted a screenshot of
Pav
a
can put
robot.
the share up. I've got it up on the screen share right now.
We'll share this on the Twitter as well. Basically, SteamWorld Games have completely pulled my likeness without my consideration. You think AI fucking voice acting was bad? Wait till you see this fucking blatant use of my identity.
That is literally you, Cap. I cannot describe how much this is you, dude. Down to a T. Honestly, man, amazing, I cannot believe it.
Yeah,
but they did comment on your post, didn't they? And they've gone identical.
Identical. Yeah, so they agree. Clearly, they did it on purpose. But anyways, this is from the SteamWorld developers. They've created another game called SteamWorld Build, which is a kind of, I guess, like a city builder type game. We're talking about these guys earlier. They just kind of tread their feet into all kinds of different gaming genres, and they use their SteamWorld game IP and apply that new genre to that IP. And this time, they, like I said, they're moving into the city builder aspect, and it's really fun so far. So I haven't gotten super deep into it again because it's a small demo, but they've kind of got this thing going on where you're obviously building out a town on the surface, and you're building little settlements and trying to gain wood, and you're building roads and stuff between all these things to sort of link up all your utilities and making sure there's certain things close to your habitats where people are living so that they're happy. There's like happiness meters that you need to try and meet. You want to have a cactus farm nearby, so you're making water, and you want to have a freaking marketplace nearby so they can go buy things, and a service center so they've got health stuff, and so you're trying to keep your little robots happy, and you're trying to kind of meet these different goals along the way, and then their needs kind of expand over time, and you're trying to sort of manage this sort of game of keeping their needs met whilst also expanding your own kind of city building stuff as well. But then they've also got this other thing going on where you're digging into the earth and trying to find ancient technology. Now, I haven't delved super deep into that, but what I've seen so far, it looks really rad. So I'm not normally a huge city builder sort of guy. Generally, I kind of steer clear of them, but I just love the SteamWorld games. I just love what these guys do with their IP.
Watching you play Dig, and that looked like a lot of fun as well.
Yeah, Dig was a great game. Dig 2, even better.
Their animation is always on point, isn't it, Cap? It always
absolutely
just looks really nice.
They did a like a roguelite card game as well, which was decent. Not as good as Slay the Spire or anything like that, but they still did a really good crack at it. But I think this is going to be another really good iteration in their kind of slew of SteamWorld games. So cracker game so far. I'm really looking forward to sort of trying out this whole kind of beneath the land thing that they've got going on, kind of harkening back to their roots of doing digging style games. So it's been really good so far. So I gave that one a crack. Now, the other game I played, and this is my final one, I promise, was a game called Shogun Showdown. Now, I don't know if you can find a little video for this one, Grizz, on YouTube, but it's really fucking rad. Now, it's a tile-based, turn-based 2D roguelite where the aesthetic is like you're like a ninja or, Japanese aesthetic, kind of 2D pixel art kind of thing going on. And you kind of have, it's like a bit of a puzzle game where you get your character has these moves that you're dragging onto your character, and then you're executing these moves against the tiles that are left and right of you. Your character can also sort of move left and right and then turn around and do other different moves, like sort of move enemies aside and stuff like that. But yeah, it's really rad. You kind of you have this little kind of, I don't know, dance of figuring out what the enemies are doing, because you can see what the enemy is about to execute, and then figuring out where you want to be in terms of tiles that are available to you, and using your moves. Every time you move or execute a move or put a move onto your character, that's considered a turn. So you're kind of counting roughly what you need to be doing, and it just plays really fun. And it sounds kind of tedious, me explaining it, but it's really fluid when you start figuring out the play style of the character and how the enemies react. And once you start moving all those things around, then you kind of get into a bit of a rhythm, and then you might lose a bit of health, and then you're thinking, oh fuck, I need to think a bit harder about how I'm playing this right now, because I don't want to lose any health. But the roguelike elements are really cool as well. Over time, as you defeat more enemies and you find new shops and stuff along your run, you'll gain access to different and extra moves. You can upgrade those moves, give them extra damage or longer cooldown for extra damage.
That looks great.
Yeah, it's a really fun little game. The boss fight's really fun as well. But I had a lot of fun doing this little game. It's just very simple, but also quite complex in a way as well. Just in the way that the dance between how you are thinking about where do I need to move, which way do I need to turn, what moves do I have available to me, and in what order am I going to play those so that I can minimize the damage done to me, avoid the damage done to you, and then and then obviously execute your advantage against the enemy to effectively wipe them off the board. It's a lot of fun, worth a check out if you're a puzzle game fan, I guess. But I had this is probably the game I had the most fun playing, actually. I'm going to download the demo for my Steam Deck tonight, and yeah. But actually, speaking about Steam Decks, Pav, how's your gaming been going, mate?
My gaming's actually been going. I haven't really sat down and played any games for a while. I got sick this week, so I played a shit ton of Cassette Beasts, and
yes, boy.
I've been convinced to get a Steam Deck. So pretty much after the last podcast.
Yeah, you went and bought it, mate. Can't believe how quick that happened. Yeah.
Podcast ended. I pretty much buy it minutes after we wrap up, and it got into my hands on Friday, and I've been playing Cassette Beasts ever since.
My man.
It's been really good.
How good
are you
Steam
enjoying
Cloud
it,
for that?
Pretty good. Cassette Beasts.
I'm hooked, dude. I'm really, really hooked. I think I'm about 75% complete.
Of everything.
I think so. I think I'm there. Yeah.
Wow, dude, you are smashing it.
Yeah. Oh, but look,
is he further than you, Cap?
More content's coming this week as well, though. So we'll see.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. A lot of fun. Yeah. So, like, how do you feel about the Steam Deck?
Look, I haven't gotten too many hours into the actual Steam Deck. It's pretty much been because just had a big weekend. So we had
classic.
Had a big one, boys.
Had like 20 minutes last night, and then I've been playing all episodes today. It feels really good. I'm playing it local. I had a few issues playing from the cloud, like from my computer. But I think that was just because like I hadn't finished letting everything install properly. So we'll give that another shot tonight. But yeah, I'm loving it. It's I think it was definitely a spur of the moment purchase, but I don't think I'm going to be looking back.
Yeah,
gotta do it, mate.
No, dude. How do you feel about just the way it, like, in terms of form factor and the feel of the console itself?
It feels good in my hand. It does.
Yeah. It's got a nice weight to it. I thought it'd be way heavier than it actually is.
I agree. Yeah, I like the feedback from the mouse pads, the
Yeah.
track pads.
Yeah.
Really good. And like one's just a touch, the other's like a hold.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
it's all just really good. I have
Yeah.
no complaints yet. Once again, not many hours put into it just yet, but expect a full review next week.
I'd be really interested to get you to try Warframe on it, Pav.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and do it from the cloud probably this week.
Yeah.
And then I'll download it.
Yeah, freaking wicked, dude. Yeah, I'm glad you bought one, mate, because I think it's a ripping piece of hardware. Actually, I really love my Steam Deck and what it enables me to do in bed. It's fucking awesome.
I know. I'll actually be able to play games again.
Yeah, I know. Well, that's the thing, mate. Because and it sounds like you've got another similar issue to me. Is like, sometimes you just want to go home and lie in bed, but I can't take my whole fucking PC with me, can I?
Exactly. So, the amount of effort it is just to sit behind my computer after a long day of work is
dude, man, I'm feeling that right now. Fuck.
Yeah.
I can't wait to get into bed. I'm so knackered.
Yeah.
But I'd love a Steam Deck.
Do it.
Guys, we got some Patreon money. Yeah, we'll fucking
yeah, go on. Yeah, classic. No, don't worry. Don't listen to him, patrons. We're putting it to good use. Promise you. But yeah, all right. Well, I'm glad your gaming's been going well, fellas.
It's going.
That is freaking excellent. Now for the final little podcast finale. Rapid Fire News, brought to you by DJ Francesco. It's in the freaking game, everyone. Thank you again, DJ Francesco, for bringing us another Rapid Fire News segment. To begin, Square Enix employees have been asking for a Final Fantasy VI remake, but series director says it would be difficult and won't happen till at least after Final Fantasy VII Remake has been completed, which I think is going to be a fucking fair way off. So don't get your hopes up.
Hot dang. Yeah, how many episodes you got left on that, Cap? A while?
Yeah.
Do we know?
Yeah.
Ages?
I reckon it's probably going to be
How
4.
far are we through? Yeah, okay.
I reckon, we're probably the first quarter of the game. Would you guys reckon in chat? Chat, do you reckon that the first iteration?
Quarter? Far
I reckon
out,
it's
man.
about the first quarter, if not less.
Jesus.
The initial kind of Midgar kind of, bringing down the saucer tower thing, that's not an awful lot. It kind of the game opens up a heap into the next part and it becomes a little bit open worldish. So there's a lot to do. And there's also another side of the continent as well. There's another continent completely. So I don't know. See what people
let's hope you get a nice Final Fantasy experience out of that one, Capo. But on other news, mate, Peter Hines of Bethesda reveals that the next Indiana Jones game will be Xbox and PC only. This game was originally slated for PS5 before Microsoft purchased Bethesda.
Yeah,
so
cheeky.
Done a little. You're not having that? Excuse me, sir.
Bit of a reverse of Roni. I think probably went, you know what, Sony? Fuck yeah. You're going to stop us from buying ABK? Well, you're not getting Indiana Jones. And then
that's it.
I'm sure Sony went, oh no. Not the Indiana Jones game. But yeah. All right. Now, Grizzly, you ever wanted to go to space?
It's not on my bucket list, mate. I definitely don't want to go see the Titanic anymore, Cap. That's for sure.
No, I don't either. I mean, I didn't want to beforehand. Actually, you know what? Submarines is probably one of my biggest fear. I can't think of anything worse.
Dude, you would hate some of the fucking scuba diving I've done, mate, in my time.
No, I wouldn't be able to do it. Fuck that shit. But anyways, going back to space, Grizz, Hideo Kojima wants to go to space and he wants to make a game that can only be played in space.
What? Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So
do we know what that game is going to be? Is it like a video game, mate, or is he just thinking of
it'll be real life space invaders, I reckon.
Right. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. So
very good.
Anyways, there you freaking go, Grizz.
Metal Gear Solid Volume 1 will not support mouse and keyboard on PC. So get out your USB controllers for those ones, mate.
I wonder how it's going to work for, in Metal Gear Solid 1, when you fight Psycho Mantis, you have to unplug your controller out of the first controller socket and put it into the second one to confuse the boss. So how's that going to work for a digital edition?
I don't think they're going to get him to do that because PCs are fucked with USB ports. You plug it in the next USB port and it won't work, mate. It'd be no good.
Yeah. So that'll be an interesting one. Fucking watch this space. All right, Grizz. Assassin's Creed Mirage's map is roughly the same size as Assassin's Creed Revelations, which I believe had Paris and Rome in it or some shit. So that's a fair bit, actually. Those were pretty big game worlds. So yeah, pretty cool.
Cap, Baldur's Gate 3 gets online murder mystery ARG prequel, Dungeons and Detectives. Do you know a bit more about that? Elaborate, please, sir.
So if you go to the website, it's what is it? bloodinbaldursgate.larian.com. You go there, and there's a bit of like a text-based RPG murder mystery thing going on, set in the suburbs of Baldur's Gate. So you can you have 4 hours to vote on who did the murder or some shit. And yeah, you can click on little areas, get a bit of a description of crime scenes and stuff, trying to piece the evidence together to figure out what's happened.
I'm going to do it right now, mate. I'm playing it.
Yeah.
I'm doing it.
Pretty freaking cool. But yeah, so I don't really know what's going on. It looks like there's different days where things happened as well. So each day, I think there's a new murder mystery or something. So that's pretty cool.
This is really cool.
Yeah. You click it and you get like a little description of like the things that happened and like a little interview that happened between you and some of the people. There's kind of like descriptions of an autopsy and stuff. And yeah, it's just really smartly done, really. It's just fucking
You get
cool.
a backpack with some items in there as well that you can check out. Got a potion of invisibility in mind, mate. I'm going to just get out of there. That's it.
Yep.
Done.
So he's fucking gone. Grizz the Gaming's gone. So there you go. Now, Grizz, Bungie are in hot water after accidentally plagiarizing artwork in their recent trailer. They've since compensated the artist, but the artist posted on Twitter saying, hey, that looks awfully familiar. And yeah, it was pretty much a 1-to-1. And Bungie then came out and went, look, we used a third-party contractor for this. Sorry, here's some fucking money. They didn't disclose how much money it was, but I imagine it would be a reasonable amount to shut up an artist. So, retribution.
Interesting. Yeah, happening a lot. We already spoke about this in the poll, Cap, but Microsoft are hiking up the price. Well, different one, of the Xbox Series X and the Game Pass in most regions. So why is I think the Series X is getting bumped up to match the PS5 pricing? Is that correct?
Yeah, I think it's an extra $50. I think it used to be AUD 749 for a Xbox Series X, I think. And then I think it's going up to $800, so roughly in line with the PS5. I think Microsoft is starting to probably feel the pinch a little bit with its investments and not getting much return, especially now that they're kind of hemorrhaging money after this so far failed ABK acquisition, and probably going, fuck, okay, we need to do some fucking shit. How are we going to fix this? So, yeah, there you go. Now, Grizz. Magic's Lord of the Ring booster boxes top $500 as collectors hunt for the Ring of Power. Yeah. Dude, that Ring of Power is going to be worth a shitload. So those that don't really know what the fuck we're talking about, Magic the Gathering have released a Lord of the Rings card set, and there is literally somewhere in the booster packs one single card that is a card of the One Ring written completely in Elvish. There's one copy of it somewhere in the world. No one knows where.
They're saying it's going to be worth multiple millions of dollars. But the way that they've done this set, Cap, with the rare cards, I really like, because it will have what print you've got out of a total prints for that card. So there are some cards where there's only been 200 or so printed of those, and it will say 96 out of 200. The One Ring card is 1 out of 1, which I think is a really cool way. Then you've got your own unique, if you've managed to find something really rare, you can tell straight away that you've got something pretty cool.
I reckon some fucking dingus is going to find that card, not know what they've got.
Absolutely, mate. Has to happen. Although
it's going to be me,
dude. So what is that? What does a usual booster box of cards cost? Maybe like $100 maximum, less than that, maybe.
So they've literally 5 times the usual price. It's out of control. Out of
Everyone's
control.
going nuts.
Yep.
Now, Cap, Diablo 4, mate.
Yep.
It was rumored that there were a bunch of items that no one had found. 6 of them, actually. And people just began to believe that they didn't exist because no one was finding them. None of the streamers were finding nothing else. Blizzard came out and said, actually, these items do exist. Here are the items. This is how you get them. They are so freaking rare that there's only been 2 recordings found to date of the items themselves. They are like, and I don't know the mechanics around why they're so rare, but apparently the drop rates are just like ridiculous, tiny. So that's
only B stick level.
That's kind of cool. I don't mind that. That's kind of fun.
Yeah,
hopefully they make more of those.
That's freaking rad. I guess there's 6 total drop wherever any unique can drop, so not from specific boss locations, and they're always 820. So I guess they're just like hyper unique by the sounds of things. So
to get 820 power, that's the maximum power level you can get in the game at the moment.
Yeah,
I wonder as they begin to add stuff that these maybe will become less rare, but they are game changing. Like the helm, for example, gives you +4 to all skills on the skill tree.
Yeah,
so pretty nuts. Plus a bunch of damage reduction and other things. So if you manage to get your hands on one of these, not only is it max level that you can possibly get all the armor, it's got set rolls for things like damage reduction and other things, as well as a bunch of skills. So pretty cool.
Mental. Freaking mental, mate. All right. Grizz, speaking of Diablo 4, their battle pass, the cosmetics you earn from it, will be applicable to any class. So all of the classes will be able to wear the armor sets that are kind of retrievable from the battle pass, which is interesting.
Cool. Yeah.
Cool.
What do you think about that?
Doesn't surprise me.
Do you reckon that's good?
Yeah, I mean, really, it would. You think about how much effort goes into create these things. Yeah, having to create 5 different armor sets for different battle passes. Yeah, I could imagine that'd be difficult. So, and also, how do you make it so that it's fair, such that do you make different characters have to go through the battle pass all over again to get the other armor set? Like, probably easy just to let them do it once.
I feel like people are only going to be playing one class during the seasonal journeys, like through the season. So, if you're working your way through the battle pass and you're not getting loot for your class, it would be a bit disappointing too. So, yeah agree.
Yeah,
pretty cool.
Seems okay. So there you go.
Dr. Disrespect, Cap, after we brought some news to you about other big streamers moving to Kick Gaming recently, wrote a very tongue-in-cheek Twitter post last couple of days and said he would like $70 million and he would come across to Kick Gaming from YouTube. So just a casual
$70 million.
Casual 70 mil to go across to Kick, mate. There you go.
I like how he's fucking advertised that as well. That's just out of control. Oh man, he is out of control. All right. In probably some of the saddest news I've witnessed, Grizzly Gaming 86 has completely lost his Epic Games account by failing to enable 2FA, which means that Grizzly Gaming 86 has lost all of his Fortnite skins.
It's true, mate.
Yep.
Someone logged into my account, changed the email, and then I'm literally fighting with Epic support at the moment to try to prove that I am actually the Grizzly Gaming 86 to get my account back. But
just send them the link to your fucking Twitch.
I should.
Actually, that's not a bad idea. Like, that's literally you playing your account.
There is clips of me playing on my account. There's probably clips of me logging into my account somewhere that I can pull out.
Grizz.
Oh yeah.
What if I send them the message of me giving you the code for the game?
Oh my god, that's right. You gave me the fucking code for the game back in the day. Holy shit, Pav.
Wow.
Yeah, true. Anyway, it is quite concerning because I do have a heap of skins on Fortnite. I also have a heap of skins on Fall Guys. I've got a heap of free games and a bunch of stuff on there. So hopefully, enable 2-factor authentication is that's the advice from me on that one for sure, Capo.
Yeah, interesting.
Cap, Overwatch 2. Not that it's very relevant right now, but they are bringing back a popular Overwatch 1 feature, which is player levels. Depending on how much you play your favorite hero. Yeah.
Interesting. I guess that's
I don't think that's gonna Is it going to bring
I know
you
that. Yeah.
Overwatch 2, mate? Is that what's going to bring you back there or what?
It's
Player
actually
levels?
the thing I have been waiting for, is to bring me back. So I'm glad it's finally been implemented. I'll be online tonight. No, I won't be.
Very good.
I am not interested at all, Grizzly Gaming. But yeah, interesting. Well, there you go. That was the rapid fire news, everyone listening at home. And that was the episode. Bloody appreciate you all listening as always. Those in twitch.tv/Oceanic Gaming Radio having a bit of a yarn. Some really good conversation tonight. Thank you, everyone in there,
legends.
such as freaking Kamikaze Cracker, Straight Jacket Jim, Caging Runt, Daniel, fantastic. We had Amph earlier as well. And Aussie Noob as well. Freaking legendary.
Yeah, big raid from Aussie Noob. What a legend. Thank you very much,
MGB
mate.
Live. Thank you. Appreciate you.
Mhm.
But yeah, thank you, legends. Appreciate you all hanging out and having a bit of a conversation with us. And those of you listening at home via the internet and via podcasting, appreciate you guys too. Drop us a little review if you wouldn't mind. Tell someone about us. We've actually had some really good stats last 5 or so episodes. Just really
very
consistent.
Yeah.
So
we
really
appreciate
you guys listening at home. New listeners as well, if you're out there. Drop us a bell. Say good day. Twitter or Discord. You can find our Discord by looking at the links in this description of this podcast or in the Twitch chat. Go and check out our link tree. We've got all the links in there. You can also follow us on Twitter, as we said earlier, twitter.com/OGR show. We do a poll every week. So if you want to vote in that, you can. You just got to follow us. Other than that, you can kind of pay us money. That's also something you can do if you want. Just go to patreon.com/OGR show. But yeah, other than that, that's about everything. Any last words from you two boys?
All good from me, mate.
Cool. All right. Well, we will chat to you guys next week on Monday. Freaking get ready.
See you next week.
Bye.
Hell yeah.
Hell
I just found a glitter bootleg.
I haven't even found glitter yet.
Yeah, this is the first one. Oh yeah. Jesus Christ.
Fucking hell, that scared the shit out of me. Christ almighty.
Jesus Christ.
Jesus Christ. Okay, fuck yeah, Pav, you fucking legend. That's sick.
Got a glitter. Something.
Tell you what I just found. The off button for my computer. So let's get this fucking.
Let's do it.
Do you want to go see Stormy?
Yeah, do it. We haven't done Stormy Raid in a while.
We need a
Title.
title.
Oh, fuck, of course.
Pav wants to go play his fucking Steam Deck.
Look, I wasn't really listening to the episode, so.
Just say Nintendo drops huge direct.
Yeah. Nintendo is very direct.
I reckon just do clickbait fucking title. Nintendo drops huge direct.
Thing you missed in the Nintendo Direct.
You can't do another one of that.
What? Fucking do it every time, baby.
10 things you missed in the latest Nintendo Direct.
10 things Nintendo didn't want you to notice.
Yeah. Nintendo hates it.
Okay, we've seen.
Nintendo didn't want you to know this one thing.
Yeah, this one crazy thing.
Is that what you'd like to do for the episode title?
Yes.
We're fucking getting worse, boys. We are getting so much worse.
We're going to get cancelled for this.
Oh, man. It's funny because the only way you would know that we have this stupid fucking meme going on is if you watch the post show in Twitch.
Wait, well, one more time.
Yeah,
which
one are we going
I
with?
don't know which one we're using.
I can't even remember what we just said. My brain's just fucking shut down, honestly. I had the fucking Windows XP. I fucking it's just see ya. What did we say, chat? I can't remember.
The one thing you missed from the Nintendo Direct, or
That was a better one.
Yeah, I think we're going to have to default I think I have to default. No, we had we had
We need to do. We talked about Dr. Disrespected tonight, mate. We
we actually
did.
did. Taylor Swift. Just
We better be
do-
quick, boys. I've initiated the raid. So
Alright.
Just fucking do fucking Nintendo drops huge direct. That'll do.
Okay. Being sensible. Promise.
we'll see whether there's a drop in numbers from no clickbait. That's what we'll see. It's good to know.
I reckon
these
just put a
things.
question mark on everything.
I
Some
think
people
I,
like-
think I
Get a
generally
question.
do.
What?
Generally.
There's a
You've
question.
done a
They've asked
fucking
me a
great
question.
job.
I need to see if there's an answer in there.
You've done a great job, Pav. You're doing real good, mate.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, you have, mate.
That's
Top 10 producers of all time.
Oh yeah. There's only 10 producers.
You have done real good, Pav.
I'm gonna blush if I could blush. All right, get the fuck out of here. I'm done. Bye bye.
See you,
See you
chat.
all next
See you
week.
guys.
Bye bye.
Bye.